Hello, welcome back to SingerFamilyAdventures. My name is Valerie.
I'm Jonah.
And this is Minnie. Thank you, Minnie, for being in our video. We saw yesterday, opening day, Maleficent Mistress of Evil.
Yes.
We've been looking forward to the movie. At least I've been looking forward to it for a long time. Both really loved Maleficent 1. And so this is a review. That's what we've got for you today. If you like this video, if you like Disney content, reviews, unboxings, pin trading stuff, please consider subscribing, hitting that bell notification, and giving us a thumbs up.
She's asleep.
And if you like kittens.
She's trying to be asleep, but she's too cute.
Okay.
We can't just leave her.
So anyway, Maleficent.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. But I generally enjoy things.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a very good movie critic because when I get excited about a movie, there's no way I don't like it unless it's very bad. So.
Well, I will say it was gorgeous. The filming was
it was
beautiful.
It was very pretty.
The sets were beautiful. The costumes were beautiful. Not to mention the actors and actresses are beautiful to begin with, but
It's given.
it was really a beautifully done movie, and I could watch it again just to sort of suck in the visuals more. It was a much more predictable plot than the first Maleficent, and I loved the first Maleficent partly because it was not a predictable plot, and
it wasn't the prince comes and gives her a nice kiss on the forehead. They smite Maleficent.
right.
It was definitely a Disney movie, as you said. It was never like gruesome or anything at any point. It was just a Disney movie. It was very good though.
There were a few sad points, but we won't give away the ending, no spoilers here, but a few points at the ending where they definitely did the kinder, gentler ending compared to what they could have done. So just to Disney-esque it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that Ella Fanning was good. Michelle Pfeiffer was great. She was so evil, you just hated her.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, and Angelina Jolie, the makeup for Angelina Jolie, I heard she had to go in hours before everybody else just to have her makeup done.
Yeah.
And man, was she bony, just bony.
Yeah, no, it's in the first one, but her cheeks look like they could cut diamonds.
Right.
Like the cheekbones.
And her shoulder bones. She's got these spikes kind of coming out of her shoulders.
Yeah, when you watch the movie, there are a few scenes where you see her shoulders and there's no dress covering it. You'll see 1, 2, and 3 just sort of poking out of each shoulder.
But the costuming was fabulous, and at one point she has a gown with some kind of bird skulls just around her collar.
It's amazing.
Hi, where are we going? So I think the kind of plot background of the Dark Fae, as they're called, was really interesting, and that scene with the Dark Fae where she goes to their island. I won't give away details.
That entire thing is spoilers.
That's spoilers.
All spoilers. They don't exist in the original movie.
Okay, but
no one knows they're a thing.
Oops. It's in the previews, sweetie.
But
it's in the previews.
I made it a
It's
point.
In the previews.
I made it a point not to watch previews.
Okay, I watched the previews. So the creatures that look like her in the previews, when she meets them, it is stunningly beautiful.
It's really
just stunningly beautiful. And one of the things, I'm gonna make a couple diversity comments, both pro and con, for this movie. Pro, in sort of the main village of humans, there were just all sorts of different people. It wasn't like some white European village, it was everybody. And when you get to where the Dark Fae live,
I'm taking this.
They just have so many different varieties of Fae. They have so many different skin colors and also their makeup that is part of their species, all different varieties, so you get the sense that there was great diversity in that species, and that's super cool. So I love the way Disney's throwing in that diversity and just making it naturalized in both those communities. I really can't tell my one little criticism, right? Because it is
you really can't.
Spoilers! Okay, well, Disney just does a trope kind of thing that they didn't need to do. It's worth seeing.
It's definitely worth seeing, especially if you like the first one, and if you were a fan of the world, because it's been a while since I've seen the first one. We were gonna rewatch it. We didn't ever get to that. It was like, we'll watch it a day before, and then all of a sudden it's day of. But yeah, no, if you're a fan of the world, there's a lot more of that shown, and it's actually super interesting. They don't go much outside of the main. There's like 3 main places they stay in, but even those 3 main places are super cool to watch, and they look really good, and it's really well designed. Hello.
Just the visuals, again, make the movie worth watching. And there's some funny bits. There's Maleficent's sidekick, the Raven.
The Raven's pretty great.
He's a great character. He's really funny throughout it. And so there's a lot of stuff like that. What I was going to say about the first Maleficent movie that I lost my train of thought is that it has a really powerful message about love, I think, and true love.
Right.
Remember we had that conversation. He was a lot younger. Just how the true love ultimately in the first Maleficent is between her and Aurora.
Right.
And so that was just beautiful. And there's no big, intense, heavy messages in this movie, but there is a sort of theme both about Maleficent herself and her species, and then about humanity, about sort of the complexity of our potential and our unpredictability in terms of when you're good and when you're bad. And so that was pretty interesting in the film, sort of how they were playing with who's more predictable, the humans or the dark fae, and who's more good versus bad. That was interesting. And it was kind of a little substantial, but not as substantial and interesting as the first movie. But it's getting 40%. You said on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's got like a 40 or I think it's either 40 or 44% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, which 7 out of 10 is way better than 40%. But 40% is pretty bad.
It doesn't deserve that.
It doesn't. I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10 or like maybe 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's definitely higher than 40%.
It's a solid B movie, maybe B+, because it's good acting.
Here's the thing. It's definitely a sequel, but it's a sequel to an already amazing film.
Right.
Thus, the sequel, in this case, We Were Lucky, is actually very good.
Yeah, I think they're going to do better sequel-wise with Frozen 2 than they did with Maleficent here, but
quite excited for that one.
yeah. My goodness.
Nope.
Anyway, absolutely worth seeing. Go see it. Enjoy it. There's intense parts. Rafi fell asleep through most of it, but that's kind of because we'd had a long day and went to the late showing. What are your other thoughts? You were talking about the CGI last night.
Yeah, but I feel like we're so close most of the time, and it's a little upsetting. And the CGI, the CGI is amazing. To be fair, I don't know all of what character-wise and costuming-wise is CGI and what's real effects, because they actually have a good track record of Angelina Jolie's whole face is all makeup, and like you said, she has to get there early. And throughout the movie, the cinematography and the CGI with cinematography, or the cinematography with CGI, it was very good on the bigger shots. On the punch-in shots, when there are closer-in shots on characters or on faces, it can be, at least for me, quite noticeable.
He notices, he's studying film, he notices things I don't. The only time I at all noticed it was maybe with the fairies.
The fairies,
The 3 fairies, the flora, fauna.
The 3 fairies, that's a difficult thing, because, they're
real people.
They're real people that they
Shot this
project
big.
that they project onto these tiny little beings, so it never looks right.
Yeah.
Both CGI wise and logic wise, like that person's not that
Yeah.
small. And so that always is weird. But yeah, no, bigger shots, everything looks super good and super pretty. There at the beginning specifically, there's a punch-in shot when you first see Maleficent's face, where the entire background is just forest and it's green, but you can see that she then like moves dramatically, and you can tell that the whole background like wobbles in a weird way, at least that I saw. And I mean, if you're looking for it, maybe you can see it.
I didn't notice it. Don't look for it. Just enjoy the movie.
Yeah. It can be annoying. I just want to watch a movie and it's like, hey, look at that. That doesn't look great.
But it's definitely worth seeing. And if you're a Maleficent fan, like I clearly am, just in general, she's fabulous. And again, it's just the Disney's brilliance of the misunderstood villainess, you know, because she's a mistress of evil, but
she's a mistress of evil by lore. She's not
by lore, but she is not the bad guy in this movie.
That's what I'm saying. I mean by lore as in the legend spread throughout the kingdoms and the world.
And learning her backstory was cool. The backstory was really neat, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy, and happy Halloween season, right? And we will we'll have another tag video or two, always with kittens at this point.
Always with kittens.
You see this little boy?
No,
little girl?
There's too many kittens not to
We have 5 teeny kittens in our house right now, and a big fat 2-year-old cat, and our dog Lily. If you haven't watched our kitten video, I will link it. I would love you to subscribe. Woo! We'd love it if you wanted to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Go spread a little kindness in the world, even if you happen to be a mistress of evil, because even the mistresses of evil can be kind. And alright, so this is a little spoiler analysis. Don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie already. I would say, first of all, you know, if you've seen the movie, and there's the dark fae, and there's the guy that really, the one who saves her, the black guy with the dreads, who really wants the two worlds to live in peace.
It's the classic, there's one character who wants war and there's one who wants peace. The one who wants peace dies.
Right, but also the classic, like, let's kill off the one black character in the movie. You know, there's just too much of that in Hollywood history. And so, great that this peace-loving character was, you know, was this interesting guy. I forget the actor's name. But, you know, and obviously one of the leaders of the Dark Fae and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, just the kill off the main black guy in the movie trope. Disney, you did not have to go there.
It's not great. To be fair, I think, you know, casting wise, he was very good for that position, I thought.
It was great.
So
I mean, it was great. It just...
It is... Yeah,
it's just that's the trope, and he literally was, I think, the only...
He was not the only.
He was the only black person with lines in the movie.
That is not accurate. There was the...
the general.
There was a general in the movie, which if you've seen...
He was one of the main...
He was one of, like, 2, to be fair to your point.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's still a bit ridiculous.
The general was a cool character.
General
he was
one
like
of my favorite characters.
conflicted all the way through. He wasn't sure which way to go, and he ends up on the side of good.
Right.
So, yeah.
Also, as you were saying earlier, how they really Disneyed it up with the Queen. Because if you've seen the movie, there's a scene where the Queen is running away through her castle, and then all of a sudden 4 dark fae appear in a room and corner her, and it's implied that they're gonna you know, like,
if
rough
it were
her
a
up.
Marvel movie, they would have killed her.
If it were a Marvel movie, they would have either cut away and never cut back, implying that she didn't really make it,
impaled her on their horns,
or B, it would have been, oh hello, it would have been, you know, she is presented with justice. In some other way, she just gets turned into a goat.
She gets turned into a goat. I mean, how soft fall is that?
It's pretty funny.
I actually thought they were going to keep her, and this would have also been soft, right? They were going to keep her imprisoned in all the vines, smelling flowers, sneezing for eternity.
That would have been pretty
That would have been funny.
Also, can I say I think the only thing that I'm super disappointed with is that we didn't get to learn more about the scientist guy. In the movie, there's a guy who's like a scientist, and then Aurora meets him.
People watching it now should
If
know
you're
this
watching
part.
this...
The evil scientist who's in the basement, right? Making the red powder.
Right. I'll be right back. I'm going to get
He's the kind of elf character, and...
It's mentioned that he's a pixie whose wings were snipped.
Right, like that's somebody who, if there's going to be a Maleficent 3, that would have been an interesting backstory. Is this Cindy
I think
or
it's
this
Cindy.
is... Ow!
It's got sharp claws.
We can't tell Cindy from Milo half the time because they are now exactly the same size. That's Milo. Meow. I think it's Milo.
I can't tell anymore. Baby Milo.
Anyway, kittens everywhere.
Yeah.
I was going to say about the Dark Fae, like in terms of Maleficent's backstory, I thought it was super cool that she was a phoenix. I almost wish they had fleshed all that out a little bit more. Like, how come she's the only one with magic? How come they know that she's the only one descendant from the phoenix?
She's not the only one with magic. She's the only one with her brand of magic. They all have their elemental earth magic.
No, but they made it clear that
right.
she was like 100 times more powerful than your
They
average
made it
Dark
clear
Fae.
that she is the most powerful and has the most variety in terms of magic.
But it was really awesome that she is a literal phoenix, and then she literally rose from the ashes. I thought that was super cool, and that was kind of a surprise. I mean, it wasn't once we knew she was a phoenix. When she turned to ash, I was like, she's coming back. She's coming back.
But yeah, it was a super cool moment. And another point to the Disney point, the Disneying it up. I thought it was super cool because all the Dark Fae are from different regions, or were originally from different regions of the earth.
Right.
And their like big base has different sections of desert, jungle, tundra, whatever. I thought it was super cool that if you notice, whenever Dark Fae poofed and died, they poofed and turned into snow or dirt or dust or like sand when you're watching it.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. You can see some of that.
That was just so sad.
It was pretty sad.
It was really sad.
It was not great. Honestly, when I was watching the movie, I kind of expected it just to be the like 8 in that main room where Maleficent first sees them.
And then there end up being hundreds and hundreds.
Which, is definitely not anything compared to the human race in the movie, but it's still quite a lot. Interesting.
I think we're done with our spoiler critique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything else to add? We could just ramble on, but
okay,
thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this since you've already seen the movie, and we would love to hear what you thought of it. Please comment down below. Love to hear your thoughts. Do you think it deserves a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes? Do you think it was amazing, awesome? Do you think it was mediocre? Thanks so much.
There are more and more kittens.
More kittens! Kitten attack! Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.